we were pretty much lucky at the time in which we went to the market. So we started the conversation around October, and we knew we needed to be very smart, to be able to use the 2018 financials, right? And the Honorable Minister, who I must say that she deserves a round of applause, she gave us all the support to make that investment happen. So two things happened, right? We needed to get some approvals from her for us to be able to still play around our ratios, and they were very transparent ratios, and she gave us those approvals and those extensions. And so the second part of our luck was that we entered the market at a time where the market was actually very soft. Towards the end of the year, right, investors were looking for what are the investable instruments to put their money, and our bonds, just spring out at that critical time. So not only did we raise that amount of money, we're also able to clean up our balance sheet. The entire borrowing of Lagos State, we're able to reprice all of them, and from the savings we're looking at, we actually can save about 15 billion, in the next year or so, based on the creativity that we've been able to do. And that, I say, is the first subnational, sub-sovereign volume of bond for 10 years at a rate that is pretty interesting that we have. So we want to thank you, Honorable Minister, and all of our investors. Some of them are in this room. I want to thank you very much and to say that you have put good money in good business. And so what are we going to do? We just signed a budget. I cannot compete with federal, certainly, of a little over 1 billion naira. Sorry, a trillion naira, 1.16 trillion, right? That's the biggest audacious budget of the Lagos State. And in that budget, we're meant to be doing about 64% capital and about 38%, sorry, 36, 37% recurring, right? Recurring, we just also signed a minimum wage in which we'll be paying 35,000 and above to over 160,000, public officers, understanding that the cost of living in Lagos is certainly higher than comparing other parts of the country. So we said to ourselves, if other parts of the country can pay 30,000, there should be a premium, given all of the challenges that comes with staying in Lagos. So we looked at that, and we're also helping them to also meet their insurance policy, right? So in all of that, we're also ensuring that all our civil servants can be part of our insurance, our health insurance policy. So all of that is factored in. But in terms of infrastructure specific, so in that budget, we're believing that, especially with the bond that we've just raised, we're believing that we can clearly have a corrective narrative about what are the things we need to do in our team's agenda, but more importantly, in infrastructure. So you'll see constructions in roads, in bridges, new schools, new hospitals, water and sanitation, drainage lines, and these are all the major critical infrastructure that we'll be doing. Of course, housing will be an enabler, whereas the like of DG Ali, will put further investment there. We believe that in housing, we can be an enabler, in that. But specifically, what are the things that Lagosians must be expecting, for us? We're finalizing a procurement around a regional road. The regional road is a 9.3-kilometer road from somewhere off VGC and into busting out by the end of Freedom Road, right? So this is meant to be a toll road at the end of the day. It passes through water, right, and land. And you've seen we've started doing some people that are built on our right-of-way, and we're going to take them out because that road is critical. It's critical for two things. One, it relieves the Lekki-Ekpe Express Road, which in itself is at level 7, is at the highest level. That's one. Secondly, it also helps enhance traffic for the 4th mainland bridge that we've started the procurement for. So we're doing that road. We're also doing a couple of bridges. There's a bridge that we need to complete, which we call the Penn Cinema. There's another design for another bridge, which is supposed to come from Okpebi Link and hit somewhere around Maryland. There are 2-3 other roads that are not in areas where a lot of you here will know. There's a road called Ijagemo Ijedodo, Ijegun Road, right? It is on the western part of Lagos. It's a 7.6 kilometer road. Yes, I know you will never hear of those things, but they are critical roads. the critical roads for that arm of Lagos, right? It's going to be joining about 6 communities together, right? It has a road, it has a bridge, right? And once if we can push that, it will open up from Ikotun to there's a place called I'm trying to remember the name now. I can't remember, but it connects at the back towards Lasu Iba Road, and so that whole community, needs to be fixed, right? And thank you very much. And we also have other roads, just so that people in Victoria Island and Ikoyi know that we're not forgetting them. We're cleaning up the CBD in Victoria Island, so the whole of Adiola Hopewell, Adiemo Alakija, Idowu Taylor, Afribank Road, we're cleaning all of that road up. So we'll go to Ikoyi, we take Thompson Avenue, we take Milverton, we take McPherson, all of the critical areas where the people that also will pay the taxes are. So we've pushed. So we've pushed all of those road construction so that everybody is not left behind. And the final one is we'll go around Ojo, Kadoso, Ajegunle area, and we're fixing Kadoso Iba Road, right, to come out into Lagos Badagry Express Road. So on Lagos Badagry Express Road, we're also pushing that road. Right now, we're at trade fair. By the end of the year, in 9 months' time, we need to get to Lasu Iba Junction and eventually get to Okokomaiko. So that's a 10-lane highway road. It's a major interchange between Nigeria and the West African coast. And we also have the rail component in the middle. So we'll have doing 5-5 on this side, and we'll have the rail component in the middle. Just to quickly talk about the rail, because it's also a critical infrastructure. There are 2 rail projects that we're promising that we're going to deliver, and the others, we've started the procurement, which is we've done an expression of interest on 4 other rail projects, knowing fully well that we cannot swallow the cost on our own. So